Hello and welcome back to another episode of Hard West 2. My name is Icon. I'm enjoying myself a lot with this beautiful game, and we are continuing our very blind playthrough on the hardest difficulty. Time to go to the Blackfish village.
Native village of Blackfish tribe. Hunters and fishermen, peaceful, if somewhat secluded. Grim guards let us in only because of Lalatiana's presence. As we walk towards the center of the village, we noticed that two of the tents were black, as if recently burned, and some of the natives were bleeding. We sat by the fire with Lalanet and the other elders and had a parley, with Klalish as our translator.
Jin asks, Kalesh, you mentioned before that your mentor knows something about the ghost train. Is that right?
Mais oui. Her tribe is on their own legends about it. So they not call it the ghost train, they call it Uktena, the horned serpent.
Lalinet threw a handful of dust in the flames, and accompanied by drums, she spoke of the legend of Uktena. Kalish was kind enough to translate.
Uktena is a great snake as large around as many tree trunks, with horns on its head and a bright blazing crest like a diamond on its forehead, with scales glowing like sparks of fire. You tell me if this legend reminds you of something?
My people also have a legend about the horned snake. In our stories, he could take on the form of a man to seduce people and twist their minds.
Now, Lalinet says Uktena has escaped from the great beyond, and it is crawling over the lands to steal spirits from Massa, the skeleton men, before he manages to help them to pass on.
What were those shadow dancers doing there? What did they need Lalinet for?
They used her as a focus for their dark magic. Lalinet says they are to be blamed for the weather. Now that she's free, we can expect things to go back to normal in a month or so.
Yes, and now that this plan has failed, they would likely try something even more dangerous. Don't underestimate them. They are bent on killing all the settlers, no matter the cost.
I know their leader, Makar. I met him once. A sour man, ready to burn and hurt everything and everyone for his revenge. My people treat him the way he should be, as a traitor of everything we believe in.
We need to find Mammon and the accursed train, or Uktena, whatever. Any ideas?
Lalinet seemed to understand the question, and then she spoke for a long time. Kalish summed it up for us.
She believes there is a place, a sacred place, far, far to the south, where the gateway between this world and the next is located. There, your ghost train must return after it rampage through the hard west. The place is hard to find, but you're lucky, says Lalinet, for you have someone amongst you with the power to sense it, or at least the potential to do so. She means you, girl.
Me? Are you kidding me? You're saying that there's some kind of, I don't know, a Hellgate station and that I can find it? No way.
Lalinet says that Flynn will need two things: to familiarize herself with the residue left in the passing of Uktena, and some guidance in her power from the spirit bear. You can meet him in a forest north of here.
Right. A bear and some train waste. Great. This whole thing is getting more and more ridiculous with each passing day.
Kalish, if you be so kind and thank our hosts.
One more thing, Jean Carter. You saved Lalinet. I owe you a great debt. I offer my services for free until you find what you're looking for.
I was hoping you might stay with us, Kalyash. You are a good tracker and quite skilled in combat. Lead on.
I know a man in Zeke's trading post, goes by the name of Lazarus. He's very invested in everything supernatural. Maybe we should pay him a visit.
Let's talk with the natives. We asked them about the recent raid. What happened? Were you attacked?
A young woman explained that the village was recently raided by a group of armed men. They stole some goods and ran away towards Zeke's trading post. On their horses, she mentioned a reward if we managed to bring back the things they took.
And we say we gladly help.
Cover your eyes. All this snow can blind you.
Those tracks must be the ones of the raiders. Let's keep going.
If I'd wanted to freeze my ass off, I'd have stayed in Chicago.
More tracks. We're right behind the raiders. We finally caught up with the raiders that robbed the village. Let's approach the camp.
The raiders were sitting around a small campfire going through the loot hastily. They seemed wary. The smallest threat of pursuit would make them fly in an instant.
Let's get ready, Kalish. Keep your head
I
down.
hunted whales with my father. I think I can handle a bunch of ruffians.
I knew that once we jumped them, they would scatter and ride. We were facing a chase situation here. We needed to be ready.
Okay, cool. I mean, she's nice and all, but I like the old man better. Plus he's undead, so that's a bonus in itself. We could really use some more bandages. Let's go. When a character has the duelist status, they can perform a counter when they try to shoot. With a single target ability, they instantly shoot back. This happens so fast that even if you kill a character, they can still counter. Okay? The red stripes indicate that obstacles are heading your way. Okay. Some of them might provide cover, but never leave the riders on a collision course with them. That will prove fatal. Okay, understood. Oh, nice. I like it. Mr. Jin Carter rides over here, takes a bullet.
Let's dance.
And we're getting it on, aren't we? Just out of curiosity, can Flynn cannot be used on a horse? Okay. Dynamite cannot be used on a horse either. Okay, well, I mean, it's all about the guns, ain't it? Old Man Bill, where do we want you to go? Starts right here.
This one.
You look like you want a bullet.
That's a miss, unfortunately.
Yeah?
Very low chance of actually hitting. Let's ride a bit closer.
Sorry. I forgot my broom. I'll try.
Just point.
Can't use Shadow Barrage. Okay. The chances of hitting are really, really low in general. So if he was to hit, let's take it from here. Good. Sets him nicely up.
Always.
Good, we can move all the way to here.
What's Jen short for? My fucking temper. That's what.
How do we solve that? Well, that's just one hit. Might as well make it. Oh, one action point, but it is in reality 2. That was really unfortunate. Let's still hit him. Now he can't use his gun, which isn't the worst thing. And Jin is riding over here so that he helps out on the other side.
For me too. Shoot the old man. Waste the bullets.
Wow, we're taking a lot of hits. 12, holy. When mounted, a character can use skills, gain speed bonus, resists burning and crippling. Okay.
Need someone dead.
Alright, one hit.
Shit.
One bandage self. And a finisher.
Let's do this.
Is right behind him.
Steady.
Nice, good hit. Down to 5.
What's the play?
It's a good question, Jin. What is the play? The play is maximizing our chances to hit. Oh, come on, really? Old man. Good. We are moving to here.
Show some true grit.
There we go. One more down.
Who wants to join me in the afterlife?
Can't reach anyone with our fists. Which means Laughing Deer is kind of going to here,
You run
taking
for the
cover.
money. I do it for the fun.
Yeah.
That's a good hit. Old man right over here.
Shake it off, girl.
12 points of damage. Wow, these guys are hitting hard, man.
Looking for trouble?
Flynn moves all the way over to here. This guy has cover, which makes it very difficult to hit him.
Yeah?
Maximizing our chance to hit him. Very good.
Easy, Mike.
That was a cool fight, albeit very much RNG driven. Fantastic.
We've dealt with the raiders and retrieved the goods they've stolen from the Blackfish village.
I can't feel the cold, but looking at you makes me shiver.
Let's get healed up here. We return the stolen goods to the village, that's good.
They were happy with that we managed to get their things back and rewarded us with more than just hospitality.
While we're here, the chief would like... while we're here, the chief would like to work with us. Seems like they could really use our help. He promised a reward.
So, Mr. Chief, you have a problem, how can we help?
Klalesh hastily translates the chief's words. Some time ago the elder sent an emissary to the nearby military camp. The emissary never returned, and the tribe wants to learn what happened to him.
Alright, we'll look around, but we can't promise anything.
The camp they're speaking of is located near Kalakala. I know the way.
Okay, let's see. Are we healed up? Full? Not at all healed up. Which means we're healing everyone.
Wrap your fingers in something, lest they freeze.
And back to Zeke's trading post. For starters, I think we need a little bit more bandages. I'm not buying any weapons. I promised myself that. Supplies would be nice, but we don't really have that luxury. I keep some money so that we can go for more supplies later. Let's find Lazarus.
Klalesh led us to a messy office set up in a big room in the attic of the trading post's barn. There, we met a stern-looking guardman with a proud bearing. He offered us some chairs, then he grinned as we introduced
So,
ourselves.
interested in the ghost train, are you? We should definitely compare our notes. As for my name, I have many. For now, Lazarus should suffice. After all, even St. Peter used to be known as Simon before he met the Lord and was born anew.
Klalish seems to know you, but we do not. Care to tell us what your profession is? You've been a bearing of a man of faith. You'll learn about me once we join forces, Jin Carter. Though I'm not exactly fond of talking about my past, yes, I used to be a preacher. Now I'm God's wrath. I hunt down things which would pervert the balance between the natural and what's beyond. Oh, I've seen strange things, Carter. One day I might share, but not today. Not yet. What do you know? A lot, actually. See? Me and my partner in crime, so to speak, a scientist by the name of Solomon the Lear. We are following the ghost train and its master for some time now. Oh yes, we do know about Mammon, this fool. Beast from the depth of hell. But tell me, how did you meet him?
I sighed and told him our story. What's the point of hiding things if no one would believe you anyway? Then added some detail too, but Laughing Deer remained silent the whole time. Bill added his piece. After we were done, Lazarus poured us some cold whiskey, as if he wanted to comfort us. And then he shared his plan with us, or Solomon's plan it seemed.
We want to get rid of this Mammon demon just as much as you and your boss. Solomon found a way to gather the spiritual power that fuels Mammon's tricks and his train. He came up with Siphon, a strange contraption, and we've set up some of them here and there, whenever we thought the ghost train might pass by. Alas, we had no luck until now. You said whatever happened to you happened in the valley? Well, right before the avalanche, I've set up one such siphon in Boomtown. Now, if we could only get this siphon and bring it to Solomon, maybe he could come up with a way to kill Mammon. The only problem would be the avalanche is blocking our way. I heard that the expedition to clear it has trouble too. What do you think, Carter? Should we join forces and together bring this demon down? Oh yeah, sure. Well, that's a gamble, but I have a good feeling about the whole Solomon fellow. I would gladly join forces with death itself if that would give us a chance to gut Mammon. Glad to hear it, Carter. You won't regret it. Now let us go ahead and talk to the foremen and lend them a hand if they need it.
When leaving the trading post with our new ally, we noticed a small group of refugees gathered by the fire, discussing something over with raised voices. Look, they might need some assistance. We approached the group of troubled refugees right outside the trading post.
Couldn't help but overhear your conversation. Were you saying someone is lost?
Oh, that's right, sir. Our families fled all the way from Cala together. But as we were halfway, some of us decided to turn around, fearing they wouldn't make it, the journey to those blizzards. Since the weather calmed down a bit, would you mind looking for them? We are worried sick. We'll pay, of course. All right, as long as you're paying, where should we start? Well, thank you. You could start by looking around the camp where they decided to split. It's near the bridge on the way from the trading post to Cala up north.
I think I can see something.
All right, we got nice little Lazarus here. Purification replaces heads down with purification. A man of God, I like it. I mean, they have cool characters. An undead, a man of God, and a tribal woman with a spiritual past. Say what you want, but the character design is actually like rather intriguingly good, shall I say. Our main troop still stays together. Just not sure yet about whom to get as the fourth character. I would like our 3 base characters. Maybe we're rotating the last one just for shits and giggles. What are his weapons, by the way? Nice little shotgun, love it, and a Desert Ranger with 6 damage. Well, I tell you what, my dude, that Desert Ranger belongs to the Pistolero and not to you. No offense, but, well, it is what it is. Lazarus swaps his hit points and statuses with that of other POS members inside. Oh, okay. So that, and then he can heal himself? No, he can just purify himself, right? Transfusion. Swaps his hit point statuses with that of any other possum member inside. Okay, transfusion 2. Swap statuses with that of any character inside. However, he can transfuse blood only with humans, living and undead. Ooh, okay. Only one ability point cost, so he could just go very low and then swap that in. So he could be a healer of sorts. It's actually really good. Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Look at the natives' emissary, track down the lost refugees. Okay. Plenty to do, I would say.
Can you see anything?
Those are the refugees'
The
tracks.
refugees split into 2 groups. Half of them pressed on to Zeke's trading post. The other half turned back to Kala Kala. Keep your eyes open. We need to find more tracks of the lost ones.
We ain't really dressed for this.
An old silver
Mine. It was an old shallow mine. Whatever silver people found here must have been barely paid for the cost of the operation. Mine proved to be a waste of time apart from an old pick that it has nothing of value inside.
Well, unfortunate. You cannot always strike gold, right?
He casted forth his eyes like morsels. Who could stand before his cold?
Alright, Frozen Lake.
As we rode through the frozen lake, we met a group of hardy fishermen gathered around a hole in the ice. They looked pretty relaxed, and we could see that their baskets were full.
Oh, having a really good day, I see.
The merry company welcomed us warily but warmly. After a while, we were handed some rods and encouraged to try to catch something for ourselves. We agreed and joined them, but Klalish was the only one who managed to catch anything. Just as she was pulling out another beautiful lake trout, one of the men slipped and fell headfirst into the frigid water.
Ask LD for help. Sure. Dear, you're the best swimmer here. Come on and help the man. Fine, but you owe me, Carter. Thanks to our quick reaction, we managed to save the poor fool, and we gained provisions. That's pretty good. That is valuable because with provisions we can do a little bit more. And then we got a military camp here.
A group of soldiers set up a camp nearby. I remember the war good enough to recognize neck legends when I see it. Camp was dirty, poor, and the number of soldiers was too low to maintain.
Nothing like the army life, eh, boys?
The soldiers were wary as they saw us approach, but seemed to quickly understand that in their shape it would be unwise to antagonize us. In the end, they let us in, as long as 2 of them accompanied us with rifles at the ready. Apparently, they answered to one Lieutenant Drake. They also mentioned a quartermaster who could use our help regarding his dwindling supplies. Lieutenant Drake was a tall, serious, and somewhat melancholic man, but he had a spark of intelligence in his wary eyes, a rare thing among the brass. He offered us some thin coffee in his tent.
What are you doing here, Lieutenant? I can see this winter is bad for you and your people. We are hunting a dangerous group of natives. They call themselves Shadow Dancers or something at ilk. But when this cursed winter kept getting worse, we were forced to entrench ourselves here. The worst thing, that we've lost most of our horses to those damn blizzards. We were hoping to buy at least a dozen from the local rancher, but cannot spare even one man to go and settle the deal. Do this for me and I'll make it worth your time. Okay, let's ask him about the native villager's emissary.
A group of friendly natives from the south sent one of their own to parley with you. Have you seen anyone like that?
Oh, a court one, if that's what you're asking for. He was observing our camp. You to understand our situation, we must be careful. Every native seen might be a shadow dancer spy. You can go and see him in the makeshift prison. My man roughed him up a bit, but he's still in one piece. We'll let him go once we learn about the Shadow Dancer's camp's location. Visit the jail.
The emissary was just a teen boy. He sat in a flimsy cage guarded by two bored soldiers, his hand and feet tied. At least they fed the boy from time to time. Kalish spoke to the boy, and soon as she mentioned his home, the boy's face was brightened. He swore he knew nothing of the Shadow Dance.
I see two options here, Jin. Either we can free him ourselves using some trick, or we look for the Shadow Dancer's camp ourselves and trade the information for his life.
Alright, visit the quartermaster.
When we entered the quartermaster's tent, we were welcomed by empty shelves and crates full of spoiled potatoes.
What is this? Nail bomb. Damage 3. Nice little bleeding. It's cheaper than dynamite. I guess it's not bad. Getting a few nail bombs here and there might be helpful later down the line. We're keeping the rest of our supplies.
The quartermaster was running out of supplies and the soldiers and would reward us for bringing him any provisions. The quartermaster was so moved by our generosity that he allowed us to pick merchandise from his special inventory.
Well, we got another gunstore club. I like it. Sort of shot. Oh, wow, look. AP cost 1. This is fantastic. Chain gun rifle. 8 damage. Damn, this here is good. Yeah, this is really good.
Yeah! Let's get out of this cold!
I can't feel my extremities. Not that I normally do.
All right.
The seemingly dead and frozen lumber mill stood upon the nearby hill. We didn't notice any movement. We entered the main building and came upon a place of a massacre. I've seen some grisly sights during the war, but this was inhuman. Whole crew eviscerated. Whole except one man. He was still alive, but wounded and half frozen.
Let's ask. Not enough loyalty points. Okay, Lazarus needs to be a companion.
Do we have to wander in this snow?
Very good. We'll get Lazarus as a companion, and from there we can
We're lost,
take
aren't
it on. Anyways, we found the settlers finally.
It was a more deep crevice than actual cave. We called, but no one answered. If any of the lost refugees ventured here, they would surely fall down into the tripping on the ice-covered rocks. Only a very skilled climber would be able to scale down there without a rope. I knew I'm putting Deer's loyalty to the test when I asked him to climb down first and secure the pass for us, but strangely enough he agreed. At the bottom of the rocky cavity there was a single young man, alive but barely. He had frostbitten fingers and ears. Once he warmed up, he woke, thanking us with a thin voice. For some reason, Laughing Deer seemed tense around the
It is
survivor.
obvious that he only survived because he ate the flesh of his fallen comrades. Such an act will surely make him turn into a Wendigo, a carnivorous demon. We should kill him now. Save him and his family the agony.
This is not our decision, and we do not know if the curse would work on people settlers. Let's bring him back to his people and let them deal with him.
Listen, Laughing Deer has nothing been but been a good guy.
Of course I'm
So
right.
we're helping him. I won't risk anyone. At Zeke's trading post, do it quick, Deer, and then we'll bring back the bad news to his family.
Where does the path lead?
Alright, we need to still
Can you see
upgrade
anything?
Lazarus's
Lucky we found these horses.
loyalty, but first we go to Zeke's trading post and talk with the refugees. They give us snakeskin boots, plus 2 speed, and you can't be crippled, and 25 G. Good. Who needs extra speed? Everybody is the answer. This here is speed plus 4. She needs extra hit points. Might give it to Lazarus, who I intend to be using a bit as well, because he seems like a capable individual.
When will we finally camp?
But we first need to give him the option to actually heal.
I spotted something in that direction.
So this is where our next big operation is, in the south, helping the military camp. And we also need to find this camp. I think we're going there next, and we'll then bring the info to the military camp, but that happens in the next episode. For now, we're done. Thanks a lot for watching, guys, and see you all in the next episode. Bye bye.